Cody Gakpo, a smart signing, Benty, for me, for not a lot of money, in the mid to high 30s, maybe £40 million rising. A bit of a no-brainer, this one for me. I'm surprised, actually, that he's gone for that's incredibly good business. It's PSV's highest transfer they've ever received.
Yeah.
But it's good business for me. A player that they would have watched for 2 or 3 years, no doubt about it. He's been linked with a number of clubs over the last 18 months plus. Had a brilliant World Cup. His numbers right now this season are pretty insane. Different, obviously, in the Eredivisie than it is in the Premier League. But I think this feels like a really good signing for Liverpool.
I think it's a very good signing for Liverpool, as you said, because it's not the most expensive of signings.
Not at all.
We've seen a lot more money being kind of banded out for players maybe not of the same reputation as him. So the fact that Liverpool have done that is credit to them. But they've always done that, Liverpool. They've found a way to just get bargains from somewhere. I know they had to pay big bucks for Alisson, Van Dijk, but they've obviously spent it the right way, because look what them two have done for them.
But I have to say, that's a great point. Liverpool's business, they don't get many wrong.
They don't.
The one, Naby Keita, is the one I'm looking at right now.
But is that more injuries or?
No, well, for whatever reason, that's the only one off the top of my head I can think of, business-wise, that hasn't quite worked out.
Yeah. But he's still there, so he's still got a chance to.
He is, but I'm saying he's not had the. I was hearing lots of N'Golo Kante comparisons when he joined, and hasn't quite hit. But their scouting network, the business they do, even though they paid a lot of money for Van Dijk and Alisson, you cannot get away from the fact they've been an absolute success. So it's money well spent.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, when Liverpool spend that type of money, they spent it on two players where they identified they were willing to wait for Van Dijk. Right. They were going to wait for him because he was the one they wanted. Alisson was the goalkeeper they wanted. They have been successes. You can't even hide from the fact. No. But you're right. They've managed to get Gakpo for relatively cheap. So
23, by the way.
I know he's only 23.
So that price will go up if he does move on. They will probably double their money.
100%. You would have thought so. But their recruitment, what they do, Liverpool, and it is important. I mean, I would like to have him to been involved, because I think he's clearly fit. He's obviously played in the World Cup, done very well in the World Cup. Jurgen Klopp feels he's not quite ready, but
what does that say to you? We briefly touched on it yesterday. When he says he's not quite ready, what is that? Does that mean he's not ready in terms of how he wants to play under Jurgen Klopp?
Maybe it's the system.
Yeah.
I spoke to a lot of coaches that coach nowadays, and they say it's now more so about the system rather than the player. It's not all now. It used to be
he's fit. He must be.
But it used to be about the player. Yeah, we'll get him in. He's one of the best players, so we'll get a system that suits him, and then if he's injured, we'll deal with it later. Top coaches that I speak to nowadays say it's all about the system. So maybe he's come in, even though he is fit and he's ready to go, he just doesn't quite understand the responsibility and the role that he's got at Liverpool yet. So that might take a little bit of time.